Hold on.
One more reorder. Hold up. There we go.
Yeah?
There we go. We're good.
Who did you notice this week?
Oh, no one.
No?
Look, hold on.
No, who did you note this week?
Oh, I thought
Not
you
who
did
did
you
you
notice?
notice? No, I put Lemmy up. I got Lemmy and the Incredible Hulk, but I think they're probably out of shot, aren't they, Jamie?
Great to see the bottom of them.
This feels fucking,
Weird.
someone's been moving this around.
Who's been here?
Yeah, man. I've got a couple of others. I put Beavis up as well over there on your side. Because you look a bit similar.
That makes sense.
That's how you look when you were younger, wasn't it?
Makes sense, yeah. Oh, I've got a great couple of pictures. Great couple of pictures of when we were younger.
Yeah, I want to see them, but you won't post them,
and
will
that was
you?
the other one that we got cut off, but and it's not the GSP fight. It's
No one.
maybe London.
Okay.
You're lean as fuck, and I'm massive.
That was the Condit fight. I was in good shape for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it the Condit
Didn't work
fight?
out very well, but I was in good shape for it.
Good shape though.
Probably the best shape out.
Looked
Yeah.
good on the way down.
Dead bug on the canvas.
Lean dead
At least
bug.
he's ripped.
Yeah, lean dead bug. It's a funny one. It was with Dre and Jimmy at the weekend.
Wicked.
And there's a picture of us all stood next to each other. And I've got a picture of us all stood next to each other in 2005.
Damn.
There's a lot of lean tissue and a lot more hair. There's a lot more hair and lean tissue floating around back then. But it's funny. I'll try to find the other one to compare and contrast.
Wicked. Yeah, I'd like to see them. I've got a bunch of old photos that I keep having a look through. I want to get some printed out and put on the wall at the gym.
Yeah. We'll have to plaster the new place.
We
innit?
should.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and
Say
welcome
hello.
to Outlaw Picks podcast. Go on, you need to do your.
Just cleaning off my beautiful merino wool. Okay, so today we are brought to you by our long-term sponsors and friends, unboundmerino.com. They have a very cool collection of T-shirts, hoodies, crew necks, track pants, socks, underwear, the works.
This is just the regular one. My Not For Ollie collection.
You didn't
is,
get Not For Ollie T-shirts, did you?
I didn't, no.
That's probably next.
They're all Not For Ollie, though.
No. I've got mine anyway. I've got my 48 at home. Very durable, very well fitting, clearly. Fast drying, and they never smelt. You won't know this. All of Unbound Merino's wool is produced on mulesing-free merino farms in Australia. You don't know what mulesing is, do you?
I don't.
I didn't until the other day. It's not very nice. It's a technique they use in some farms, some wool farms, that involves removing animals' skin so they don't produce wool in that area, and then it's better for protecting from infections and stuff. But it's pretty fucking cruel.
Hell.
So they won't use any wool that comes from those farms that use the mulesing technique. Unbound only use Woolmark certified wool producers.
Good.
Which don't.
That shit makes me want to strangle people.
Yeah.
I could just do like a world tour of strangling people like that. I've always fancied joining up to one of those. You know those people that protect the rhinos. They just like sit around, on the.
Bro, there's a wicked TED talk, and obviously I'm going to forget his name. There's a wicked TED talk about an I think he's a South African Special Forces psycho that is now just turned his efforts to fucking hunting poachers.
Awesome.
Yeah,
what a great job.
Cool too. And he's very eloquent about it. He's very matter of fact about it, and he's just like, this is my mission. This is what I'm doing.
You just need some like retired snipers, just like on towers, out in the in these like massive reserves.
Yeah,
just get some like towers where they can.
If you would like to jump aboard the unboundmerino.com train, then go to their website and use the code OUTLAW, and you'll get 15% off. And if you spend over $100, you'll get free shipping as well.
Nice.
Yeah,
I got approached once by a documentary company, a documentary making company, and they wanted me to go to Siberia and into the Siberian forest and link up with these like retired military that protect tigers. That would have been cool.
That would have been pretty cool.
Never came about, but that would have been cool.
Yeah, that's very
cool. I don't know what happened to that company. They came to me with a few ideas. They wanted me to.
They're still in Siberia.
Eat by tigers.
The militia weren't fucking around.
Lovely tigers. But anyway, where were we?
We can't review because I never watched it.
No, we can review.
Well, you can review. I didn't watch it.
I'll tell you what we can review.
The reason I haven't watched it is because
we fucking took over the Golden Ticket.
We're busy taking shit over.
I had tears in my eyes watching it on my phone. I was
was
at Cage Warriors, which was awesome, but I would have loved to have been there with the boys.
It was a very, very successful weekend. The Golden Ticket promotions in Wolverhampton. We obviously took our pro-am team over there, and it was a good night.
Yeah,
it was a good night at the office. Riley Daniels came out first on debut, amateur debut. Got himself a second round ground and pound finish.
It was beautiful.
He
looked good striking as well,
just
spinning back
great.
fists and high kicks and stuff.
Mate, he just looked great. Not that we weren't expecting him to be great, but he definitely outdid himself, I think. And everyone was sort of on the same page. They were like, "Shit,
yeah,
well done, mate."
I was expecting
you
to
smashed it
for sure.
Smashed it.
I was expecting it to be a lot more tense.
Yeah,
I was expecting, especially amateur debut, first time 100%. In front of a crowd. He actually said that the grappling tournaments and events that he'd done had helped him. Yeah. But we've got a movie coming out. Mystery's working on it. Oh, it's up already?
Yeah,
on the Patreon?
Yeah, on the Patreon. It's up.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I watched it last night, hour and 45, and it goes through all 5 fights.
Yeah.
So we had Riley won by TKO in the second.
Yeah. So next up, Josh Hamilton, like he's a hot prospect coming out of our gym. There's a lot of self-imposed expectation.
Yeah.
On him, he has very, very high standards, and he was excellent. Like he's been out of competition for 3 years. He went in there. To be fair to his opponent, he was game.
He was. He landed some good shots in that first round, didn't he?
Yeah, he landed some good shots. Josh controlled the stand-up. He controlled the wrestle. It was a back and forth on the floor. And then...
We could drop a clip in here, couldn't we? While we're talking. Have a little bit of a clip.
He was excellent. He expected more from himself, which, that's fine. That's a good position to be in. But, mate, he got him pinned on his back in the second round, beat him up with some heavy ground and pound, fractured his eye socket, and he didn't come out for the third round.
Nice.
Like he's done some work there.
Yeah.
He's done some serious work.
Yeah. And it was a good learning experience for him as well, especially hearing him talk about the differences between competing in that and in boxing.
Yeah.
And how it's just, it is more chaotic. There's just so much more going on in a...
And like we said, he has some very high expectations on him. We have some very high expectations of him. He will get better and
rightfully
better.
so,
he will get better and better. And we know what his potential is, and it's very exciting. But it was good. It was really good. Jack Henschel was up next.
Fuck.
Yeah, man, it was a real...
I watched it again last night.
Yeah.
I just can't score it for the other guy.
Yeah.
He was a fucking leg hugger. It was so frustrating. He was just holding him, driving him into the fence, and did a good job of holding him and driving him into the fence.
It's funny, so I watched his... We're there at the weigh-ins, and I could be reading into things or not, but I was there at the weigh-ins, didn't want to make eye contact, was very awkward. I was like sort of looking away as if he was like, didn't really, I'm going to do this, but I'm not like... Josh is there like that, staring the motherfucker down, like, I'll do this all day, every day. What do you want? What are you going to do about it?
Yeah.
And this guy was just, it was awkward. Like it was palpably awkward. And then, the way he fought, that linked for me, because he'd found a way that he could control this and not really make this too dangerous for himself, which was to block Jack up against the fence and, seal the exits, really. And he did it very, very well.
Yeah, but that's not the fucking point.
That's not really. That's
not the point.
That's not going in and winning a fight. That's not
people
losing
judging,
a fight.
The people judging at Golden Ticket need an updated, unified criteria, because you can't score people for taking down and holding or holding up against the fence. Yeah. Like Jack did better work all the way through. Yeah. He was attacking. He landed better shots. Standing.
And he nearly turned him off 3 or 4 times. He just
Jack took him down as well. There were a couple of things that Jack did wrong, and of course, that's stuff that we can work on. They're always a learning experience, but he still won the fight. I still scored the decision to him based on the work that he did.
So officially, we lost the split decision, but
we need a rematch.
Yeah, and it was
that guy don't like fighting.
I don't think he'll want a rematch.
I don't think he'll want to fight again. He didn't look like he wanted to fight then. I don't know you are my friend, no disrespect, but it was fucking atrocious, boring. I was frustrated because you can see one kid wants to fight, and he was doing everything he could to try and make space to fight.
Yeah,
and that,
yeah. So it was, I thought Jack looked great. He looked slick and bouncy, and he's very unpredictable. Like, he's hard to read, isn't he? He's got a good game.
Yeah.
And again, he's going to get much better.
And that was another thing as well. Like the first round, Jack was like all over him. Like the guy had no track on his movement or anything. He couldn't keep up with him. So it railroaded him into that defensive game plan. It's just frustrating.
Yeah, it was. And then, so next up, Tom Owen pretty much sort of stole the show. I don't know what the other guy's name is. Jerome. I don't know his second name. I know obviously what Jimmy's from or what have you. I also know he's the greatest martial artist that's ever lived.
Is that right?
Yeah, apparently, according to his Instagram. Yeah. He was a bit full of himself. You can maybe drop the weigh-in clip on the video, but you know, Tom was the ultimate pro, and Jerome was sort of chatting shit and slapping his hand away at the weigh-ins and being a bit petulant and babyish. And then, you know, what happens? What happens, brother, if you do that? What happens?
Was it 20 seconds?
20
seconds?
Yeah.
20 seconds.
He laid back off a right hand in and then
Lovely.
2-3 finish,
Bang, bang.
dropped him. It was just like, you know, you couldn't script it, could you? And
It
then
was
we
awesome.
just like lost our shit. And that's what happens.
Yeah.
Karma, the embodiment of karma, innit? That's
it.
what happens. Be a pro.
Karma goose.
Yeah, be a pro. And you know, like, that was a beautiful way to finish it, but Tom could have dragged him through 3 rounds and ground him, like, stole his soul in 3 rounds. He's in the shape and he has the technical ability to, you know, do whatever you want.
Amateur featherweight title next, right?
Next
December
up,
5th?
Yeah. Yeah.
Can't wait.
Yeah, it'd be wicked. And
And then we have
the boys will be back in the gym soon. They, you know, they don't want too much time off.
Yeah.
Just kind of forcing them to have a bit of time
Yeah.
off. So.
Yeah, well, Tom's messaged me today. It's
Yeah, there you go.
Tuesday, and he's messaged me about training.
Let's
so
go.
he's going to come over and do a bag session.
Last fight was Jake Constantantu.
He looked... Same thing with Jake as with Riley, and obviously Jake's been through IMAF, and you know he's a
few
pro now.
yeah.
You know, he's a pro. He's also signed to WWE.
Yeah,
you know, he's been in the spotlight a bit, but like when he's in the gym, he's very technical in the way that he trains and he drills everything. But I always say the same to him. I'm like, relax a little bit. And same thing, I say the same thing to Riley. In the fight, he was so much more relaxed. Like left hook to low kick, his takedowns were good.
That left hook body shot to follow it with the low kick was lovely, wasn't he? Landed it 5-6 times. I thought it was great, man. He was solid, mature. The guy was tough.
Yeah,
and he was
been in there with some good guys as well, hadn't he? You know?
Much more experienced than him, I think. And yeah, you know, he won a good, solid, tough decision, didn't he?
Yeah,
very, very good.
So
Great night.
4-1, but technically 5-0 because one guy didn't come to fight.
Yeah.
So and he was from 10th Planet Redditch, sort of Shoreditch, Redditch, 10th Planet Redditch.
I'm not sure.
I think
not
he was.
sure.
I think he was.
But,
We need that rematch.
Yeah, you know, big congratulations to the team. Big congratulations to, you know, the coaches. Jimmy especially. He's leading.
He's the general.
Yeah, he's leading a group of, and you know, they love him, man. They look up to him and they hang on his every word. And you know, one of the things that coming out of Riley's fight was how well he took direction. You know.
Right?
He just took,
even
you know,
like
you could hear it.
Left hand hammer fists.
Yeah, bang, okay.
Bang, you know,
Okay.
Yeah.
You seem to know what you're going on about. Fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. There, you know,
Really good.
Big shout out to you as well. I know you're.
Well, I've been down there a bit more this time.
Yeah.
But you know, I need to be more involved.
Yeah.
For sure.
Go on then. Do you want to review Fight Night? Because
I'll give you a quick rundown because you've not watched any of them, have you?
Not really. I might have caught a couple of bits. I can't remember what I've seen. And what.
Some good fights.
Yeah.
Gremlin looked really good. Douglas Silva Andrade. Jamie Malarkey as well. Got the second round stoppage, which was, you know, obviously great for Ross as well.
Yeah.
Who else stood
They
out?
look like proper bros, those two.
Yeah,
I
mate,
always
don't
see them on Instagram. And they're like, just like, yeah, man, fucking love you. Yeah, fucking love you too, bro.
It's Ross's second career.
Let's have a beer. Yeah, let's have a beer.
Casey O'Neill looked really good against Antonina Shevchenko.
Yeah.
You can just tell that Antonina doesn't love it as much as Valentina. You can tell she doesn't have that same kind of passion for it. And Casey O'Neill was just overwhelming. She did look really good. That was a second round stoppage.
I was 10-1 on my picks, by the way.
Were you?
Yeah. Apparently.
The Kevin Holland Kyle Daukaus thing was a bit unfortunate. The clash of heads. Yeah. I mean, it was a really bad clash of heads as well, and Holland went down afterwards, but then, you know, he came back in and he fought until he lost by rear naked choke. But then in the conversation afterwards, it was quite interesting actually, because like it's always a bit fucking awkward when something weird happens. Like, was it a downed opponent getting a knee to the head, or, you know, what do we do with this? Is it a win? Is it a no contest? You know, we had a similar situation with Adam at Cage Warriors on Friday, where, you know, he'd thrown a low kick and he'd posted, and his hand was open when he posted, and it went in his opponent's eye and cut him. So from the first replay that we saw, it was like, it was a close fist because it really genuinely looked like it. But then once we were in the cage and they were about to announce the winner, then we saw a different replay and it was like, oh. And I just turned around to his corner team straight away and to the referee. I was like, yeah, that was a poke. I turned around to Adam and I'm like, look, you poked him. There's no way you can deny that.
And also, we're not in the blagging game. It's like if you poke him and
you don't want to win like
fight,
that.
You don't want to win. You don't want to count that as a win, do you?
For sure. But what I always find really weird is when there's something going on, it's always like real kind of secretive. Like the UFC camera comes over and they're all mic'd up. Like all the referees and officials, all the referees wear a mic. So they do this kind of thing where they like cover the mic and they like talk to the side and they say things like, well, you do whatever you can sleep with. Like what the fuck is that?
It's like cut and dry. It has to be processed.
That should be an open official conversation. We can look at the review. We know what the protocol is.
Yeah,
right.
100%.
They got to the right conclusion of a no contest. That was the right thing to do. But the weird fucking awkwardness around it, like you can see, like Mark Ratner's standing there, kind of looking over his shoulder at the camera, and then the camera kind of pulls away a bit, and then like Herb's whispering in Mergliotta's ear.
Who did we say was going to win this? In this situation?
Like what's your accumulator saying? Which way does this? Like it's just fucking like it's weirdly awkward and it doesn't need to be. It's a public conversation. They clashed heads. It was clearly a knockdown. The fight could have been stopped in that moment, but you let the fight continue. Yeah. But the fair thing to do. Even
weirder that it carried on and then it was a sub.
Yeah, I mean it was a constant flurry from the moment he went down because he was hurt. Yeah. And you like although Mergliotta had seen that it was a clash of heads, it was like, oh well, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he'll work back into it because he did come straight back into the fight. You know, but when it got to the end. And then they were talking about the clash of heads because they've got this big fucking red light that they put on the side of the octagon now. You know, like one that you like reach out and put on the roof of a undercover police car. I don't know why they would have that, but anyway. They put it on the side of the octagon. It's like, oh, hang on a minute. It's like throwing a flag onto the pitch in football,
right?
So okay, we're going to review some tape, but it's just this secretive covering the mic and being like, well, you know,
what you're worried about?
Like, there's an official protocol.
Yeah.
Like, do you not fucking know it? Yeah. I mean, well, that seems to be the fucking case. Waving off fights at the end of the round to stop.
Oh, no. No. Keep going.
I'm not going off on a fucking tangent about this again. Something needs to be done.
Boris, stay inside, go outside. Stay inside, go outside. His off is on. His off is on.
Yeah. Go outside, don't go outside, but use public transport, but don't get on a bus. Go to work, but don't go to work. Work from home if you can, but if you need to go into the office, don't go to work.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. That Matt Lucas impression rings in my head every time I hear fucking
him talk about anything.
Voice.
Yeah.
And then the main event was kind of what I hoped it wouldn't be. The Lewis and Ngannou standoff. Because you've got two guys that don't really have much of a plan, that are both of their games rely on them being a bit chaotic and explosive, but then once the chaos starts, then it's going to be two Tasmanian devils swinging at one another.
Yeah.
And Walker just doesn't have the confidence that he had before his knees were fucked up. And one thing I will say is, Thiago Santos isn't the same. He's not the same fighter. He doesn't have the same go.
Yeah.
Johnny Walker looked better in my eyes. I know it wasn't a great performance for him, but he looked calmer. He looked more measured. Yeah. Like it seems to be, the stuff that he's working with Kavanagh seems to have been working with him. You know what I mean? He's calmed him down a bit.
Yeah.
I still think he needs a bit of that chaos, but I don't think it works against someone that's as chaotic as him in Santos. So. Bit underwhelming, kind of like the MVP Lima fight. You probably not watched that either.
I haven't seen that either.
A bit underwhelming.
MVP took a decision.
Yeah. I mean, I can see it both ways. I would have probably scored it to Lima myself, but only because of the inactivity of MVP. It was like he was too respectful, and he didn't take as many risks as he normally would. Didn't control the space either. See, and that's a point of difference, I think, with MVP, is if he's in the centre pushing you against the fence, he's got games he plays.
Yeah.
If he's backed up against the fence and you're pressuring him, he then becomes the counter fighter that's just reactive. And it feels like he doesn't have those same kind of games as he's moving laterally on the outside as he does when he's controlling from the centre.
Right.
But that's what it seemed to me, and I think Lima...
Are they going to go again?
I don't know. I also don't know why it was 3 rounds. I've still not figured out this. And I mean, Yoel Romero's still asking questions about it as well. I don't understand why they're not doing 5-round main events, because especially when you've got 2 fighters that are in the main event, if it's evenly matched, you sometimes need those extra 2 rounds. Like, Romero was ready to go for another 2 rounds, and I would have quite happily continued watching that fight. The MVP Lima one looked like it wouldn't have got a conclusion without 25 minutes. So, I don't know.
Right.
I'm not sure what the thought process is behind that, but I'll speak to them. I'll have a word.
Sort it out.
I'll see what they're saying.
Sort it out.
So that was UFC Fight Night, 147,000 in a nutshell.
There's a lot of fight nights, isn't there?
Yeah,
and then we got another
loads.
one, right?
Of course we have.
DERN Rodriguez.
We'll
get to that. So who have you got first?
hang on a minute.
Ontiverious.
I've got UFC's. You've got who?
Ontiverious and Garcia. So you've got first.
Yeah, you see, this is where you're gonna have to bail me out a little bit, because I don't know some of these.
Pull Topology up.
I've got UFC stats up.
Okay.
Go on, you tell me.
Well, to be honest, I don't know an awful lot about either of them really, but a horrible end to Ontiverious' fight with Kevin Holland. He got slammed on his upper back, lower neck, and then immediately it was like, something's not right. And then he verbally tapped, and I was like, oh shit, we do not want that. No, completely well within the rules. There's nothing outside of the rules going on. It was just an awkward, hard slam from Kevin Holland.
Yeah.
I don't know what the result of that was. I don't mean the fight, the result of the injury, but like anyone that's been hurt their neck before, you were sort of like, oh shit, I know what that. You could tell like the zings that sort of flies down your nerve root.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, okay. I don't know a massive amount of. He sort of looks alright. He's got a few, like he threw a few axe kicks in that fight, and he's pretty game. But then Steve Garcia is game as they come. He came out swinging against Luis Pena. He got out grappled in the end, like pretty badly in that fight, but showed some resolve to not get subbed by him. Like Pena had enough control of him that I'm sure he would be thinking that he would be looking to get a sub win there. Like had his back for 4 out of 5 minutes of 3 rounds, I think.
Right.
And couldn't, so there's some resolve in there. And obviously some understanding of defensive grappling, but he did get out grappled. I'm not too sure. I think Ontiverious looks a little bit slicker and a little bit more competent overall of the ranges, just a little bit. And I think probably
looks like he's been stopped a few times though. He's got 7 losses on his record, but as I'm scrolling down and seeing the losses, it's like stoppage, first round punches, first round knees to the body, first round ground and pound.
Garcia's going to come.
MVP beaten by in first round.
Yeah, I watched that. Yeah. Garcia's going to come, so I mean, if he catches him and puts too much pressure on him, and while they're fresh, and does some damage, then it might be the other side. But I just think Charlie is a little bit more well-rounded on Ontiverious.
All right then.
So I'm assuming you're not picking based on the fact.
No, I'm not picking. You can pick for us today.
Well,
Well, no, I'll pick some of them. I've not done the research on some of these guys lower down the card because I was Cage Warriors and Bellator and
all sorts.
UFC.
All sorts.
So, okay.
Now this will be fun.
Godinez against Hughes. Yeah.
I like Godinez.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah. Watching back a few of her fights, I think she's good, man. She's got some power. She had a good back and forth with Jessica Penne, didn't she?
Yeah.
But
that was Penne's first fight after being out for ages, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it was a good back and forth. She's a little bit scrappy, but she's got super. She's very, very powerful striking, strong cage work, and I think she likes to fight.
Yeah,
I think she's in that fighter quadrant. She's well and truly in there. She's good, man. And then Sam Hughes she is athletic, but she's athletic like she's from track and field, so she moves a little bit different. But she is athletic, but she's not as athletic, I don't think. She's tough, but I don't think she has the same array of techniques and offense that Loopy has.
The UFC have not done her any favours in her matchups either.
No.
I mean, she got Torres and Luke Bunmi in her first 2 fights.
Yeah, Luke Bunmi was tough. That was a tough fight, man.
Always is.
Yeah. They've fought before. They fought back in 2016, Combat Games 61.
Oh, okay. Who took it?
Godinez took a decision.
Are you thinking that again? Seems to be how you're leaning to me.
Definitely think Godinez is winning. I'm not sure whether it's by decision. Mind you, Sam Hughes seems pretty tough. She took a battering off Luke Boomy to some degree. Yeah, definitely Godinez, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Charles Rosa against Damon Jackson.
Well, this is easy.
Go on then.
Well, Rosa has gone win-loss since 2014. He's just coming off a win.
Okay.
So he's almost certainly Damon Jackson is going to win it.
Is that right?
Yeah. You can't fuck with the numbers, can you?
Well, I mean, MMA math works, doesn't it? As we know. I will say, Damon Jackson's record, you look down it, and every single person that he's lost to is someone that a name that you would recognise. The only one that UFC fighters wouldn't recognize is go on, Habelev, Movlid Habelev. He got knocked back with a jumping knee in the PFL. That guy's 13-0 though at the time.
Damon Jackson, brother. I know it's tough, but you got to shave your head, bro. I know, man. I've been there. I held on a couple of years too long, but you just got to shave your head, bro. You just got to accept it. It's just the way it is. Yeah.
You're not comb it over or comb it back?
No, there's not enough to comb over.
Did you go through either of those phases? The combing over phases.
I hung on too long, and I'm just saying to you, my brother. Don't hang on anymore.
My brother.
Just put out that. Mate, you didn't see that guy jump on stage with Habib?
I did.
And he didn't even fucking flinch. He's like, my brother, don't do that. Yeah. He's not South African. No, I said South African accent. But he's like, don't do that, bro. Don't do that. It's fine.
Yeah.
Relax. It's all good. Not even a flinch.
No. They just double-legged him back into the front row again if he'd have stepped further.
I think Damon Jackson has got the edge here, especially if he can get him to the floor. I think he's got 14 sub-finishes on his record.
Yeah.
Like he's
Charles Rosa's a black belt, though.
Yeah.
I remember Rosa making his debut. I called his debut, and I'm sure he took it on short notice. I'm sure it was a short notice fight against Dennis Seaver. It was. Yeah. It was and it was. I mean, it was fight of the night. It was an absolute war. Then he won by Darce choke. Then he lost to Yair Rodriguez by split decision. Then he beat Bochniak. Then he lost to Burgos. Then he beat Manny Bermudez. Lost to Mitchell. I mean, it's the consistency of the inconsistency is crazy. But I don't know.
I watched that Burgos fight yesterday.
Did you? Yeah.
In prep for this, like he battered Burgos' front leg.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker just kept coming at him. I'm just walking through it. He's like, yeah, fine, whatever. Every time you touch my calf, I'm just going to throw like 3 punches straight back at you.
He's fucking so tough.
I love him. Yeah.
I like Rosa, and I think he is a very talented, well-rounded fighter. I think he's smarter on the ground than he is on the feet, though, because he does he's a bit of a Ally Quinta, like front foot heavy, likes to stand and trade. Yeah. I'll take a shot if I need to land a shot on you because I've got heavy hands. But I don't know. I think it's going to be quite even if they hit the floor. Like I can't underestimate Charles Rosa, even if it's just to keep himself safe.
Yeah.
So that makes me feel like Rosa's going to be the one that wants to keep it striking, and he gets hit a lot. He takes a lot of shots.
I just think Jackson is better. I just think he's better. I can't refine it down any more than that, really. But he just seems like he moves a little bit better, and he just has the edge probably everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that fight against Bektic, Mercer Bektic, in his debut.
Yeah, solid, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Bektic came after him.
He did. As Charles Rosa will. I could see him catching a guillotine in this. A lot of chokes on his record, aren't they? What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rear naked chokes. 1, 2, 3 arm triangles. And a couple of guillotines.
Yeah, he's good, man.
Yeah, that is.
He's good. He's aggressive with his grappling as well, isn't he?
Yeah. Damon Jackson, then you think?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, I like Charles Rosa. I like watching him, but I think you're right. There's a bit of a technical deficit there for him. Not that he doesn't have it. It's just that he chooses not to use it.
Yeah, right. Nice.
Big boys, heavyweights,
mate. The two tectonic plates coming together.
This is going to be a train wreck.
Last time two things this big came together. We got the Himalayas, I think. They are big. They're big boys, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Like I quite like Romanov. what happened in his last fight? He got a groin kicked, or did he kick someone in the groin? He kicked. It was disappointing. It was a disappointing end. I like him. Like, he looks big and unathletic, doesn't he? But he's not at all. He's not.
Oh, that was it. It was stopped. Yeah. It was stopped early, wasn't it? Because of the groin shot. Is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
Fuck.
I think so.
I don't like not doing my research.
But
I remember the forearm choke against Lima, though.
Yeah.
Like, that's a hell of a lot of weight to be driving down into a forearm.
But I like...
Vandera's got wrestling, though, right?
Yeah, big wrestling.
Yeah.
He's a big boy. The only thing, Vanderaa got picked apart by Spivak, didn't he? The polar bear.
Yeah.
Because I think I picked him in that, because the whatever his fight was before, I was like, shit, you look good. They're very similar to each other. They're both way more athletic than you expect, looking at, big dudes with a bit of a beer belly. Not a beer belly, it's a bit harsh.
He's coming off
big
that,
dudes.
Yeah, he's coming off that decision over Taffa, though. I mean, he's...
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Vanderaa might have enough grappling, enough wrestling to be able to keep this one on the feet.
You reckon?
And force Romanov to stand and trade, and then it's just a...
I think I've got Romanov. I think he's a little bit broader in his skills.
You reckon he'll be able to get into the floor? He'll be able to get Vanderaa to the floor?
I don't know, man. It's got to make a hell of a noise.
Because then it's just a coin toss with these two guys. Like at that stage, they're both got big looping shots.
Yeah,
they're not particularly tidy in their striking.
They're not snipers, are they?
No.
Surely this ends up on the floor somehow.
You reckon? Yeah. If it does, then Romanov takes it.
Yeah, or they're both trying to get to the floor and they exhaust each other and they both collapse on the floor. They're like, fuck.
Just sit down on the floor.
We didn't agree to do this.
Mutually pull guard.
Yeah. I got Romanov.
Yeah.
I like him. He's I think he's good.
14-0 as well.
Oh, yeah, because it's a no contest. Yeah, right. Yeah, got you.
Okay. Staropoli against... Jamie Pickett, Laureano. This is his second fight at middleweight. Laureano.
Who?
Staropoli.
I think hell of a run, isn't he? He went Alves, Salikov, Means, and then Delidze.
Yeah,
it's a bit rough, that, isn't it?
It is a rough run. But then, like, he went from fighting those two guys to going up to middleweight, and he was always. I mean, he is a. What is he? Probably 6'2".
He's big.
He is a big kid.
He got bored. He got bored to death by Delidze, who normally, like I like Roman. He's a good fighter, but he didn't take any risk in that fight. He literally laid on him, and he got S grip around him and just held it. Pretty much no matter where he went, he just held onto it and didn't really do much with it. It was a bit rough to watch.
Is that right? Is that really Staropoli's reach? 70 to 71 inches. So according to UFC stats, I've got Staropoli at 6'1" and Jamie Pickett at 6'2", but Jamie Pickett with a 9-inch reach advantage, 80 inches to 71. Yeah, 71 inches is like a featherweight reach.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's a
T-Rex.
That's a minus ape index, got to be, hasn't it? What's 6'1" in inches?
I don't know in inches.
That is though, isn't it?
Hold on a second. Hold on. So that is a 185 centimeters is 6'1" and 182 centimeters reach.
Oh, so it's not much of a difference then. Most people have got a couple of inches on their height.
I feel like we just need like a universal measurement. Why the fuck do we have inches and centimeters? We just decide which one is better, and we'll just everyone go with that.
Yeah. And I don't care because it's much of a muchness. Yeah, it really doesn't matter, does it?
No.
It's like a converting shit. Go on.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I think he hits hard.
Who? Pickett or Staropoli?
No, Staropoli.
Yeah,
hits
he does.
hard, but he's gonna struggle with that reach deficit a little bit, isn't he?
Unless he gets inside, unless he makes it untidy. But then he's got to watch clinching Pickett, I would say. Staropoli's work rate is higher, 3.64 strikes landed per minute, and he's got a higher defense. And Jamie Pickett absorbs more strikes per fight as well.
Yeah, Pickett. I guess it's sort of underused, but he landed some downward elbows from death when Jordan Wright was trying to take him down, like up against the fence. No, sorry, it's not down. It's sort of like it's
Yeah,
sort of diagonal elbows
yeah.
down into the side of like the ear.
I call them
and
Travis Brown elbows.
Yeah.
Travis Brown stopped 2 people with him, didn't he? Was it Josh
Do you think
Barnett?
it's underutilized? It's very, very effective.
I don't
isn't
know
it?
if it's underutilized. I think I see it quite a lot now.
Yeah.
I see it quite a lot. There's been a few people, like Johnny Walker stopped Ryan Spann with it.
It like drops people to
right
their
in the
knees, doesn't
temple,
it? Yeah.
You know.
Very effective.
Yeah, really good. I don't know as I'm expecting Staropoli to try and take him down though.
No.
I think
he's coming
this will
to throw some heat.
But I also expect Jamie Pickett to hammer his legs quite a lot. He's got a Muay Thai background, hasn't he, Pickett?
I've got Staropoli in this, by the way.
Have you? Yeah. Fair enough.
Jamie Pickett, 11-6.
Yeah. I don't know as I've seen enough of Staropoli at middleweight to think that this is the right weight class for him.
Yeah.
Because I've seen a lot of welterweights that are a decent size compared. I mean, Randy Brown's on this card, and he would make Staropoli look like a welterweight.
He would.
You know, I don't know.
He's
Whereas
got an
Jamie
outrageous
Pickett's,
reach, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's not that outrageous. It's just long.
80 inches is. Oh, are you talking about 80 inches is long for a middleweight?
Yeah.
Like John Jones reach is 84 and a half, and he's a heavyweight now. Like Stefan Struve's reach is 84. OSP's is like 82.
Nearly made a really low joke then.
What?
I think I'm going to just leave it. Probably a private joke.
Save that one for later.
Yeah, we'll see that later.
I'll let you know next week if it was funny. Probably
Well, it's not even funny, it's just low.
Oh, okay. Sometimes it's funny because it's low, though.
Yeah.
Okay, how you got with this one anyway? Staropoli?
Yeah, Staropoli, I think. What do you think?
Yeah,
No?
I don't know. I've not seen enough of Staropoli at middleweight. And I think Jamie Pickett's 9-inch reach advantage and the fact that he's got a decent clinch is going to be problems because Staropoli's got to get close to him but not get clinched and kneed.
Yeah.
And I also, I'm always more concerned about someone going up a weight class if I don't think that they're moving up to the right weight class.
Right.
Because the point of difference between being in the right weight class at welterweight but having to do work to get to welterweight requires you to be in a better condition.
Yeah, no, understood, yeah.
If you're going up to middleweight and you're probably not a middleweight, then you're like, well, your condition could slide because you don't have to work as hard through training camp to get your weight down.
But Delidze was at middleweight. The
That's
Lidze
what I'm
fight was at
saying.
middleweight,
That's
yeah.
what I'm saying, but that's his first one.
Right, so this is second
He was a
one.
welterweight all the way up to that point.
Yeah, okay.
And he's still quite young as well, isn't he? I mean, he's still in his like mid-20s in this Staropoli.
28.
Oh, okay.
Still it's pretty young.
He looks young. He looks like a kid. Bit of a baby face.
Yeah, well, yeah, that sort of does make sense. Like, Delidze was at middleweight and, like, dominated him physically. And Delidze's not a massive middleweight, is he?
He's not. Well, I mean, he is a big old unit, but he's in his mid-30s. He's 6'2". I just think he looks. He looked too much for him. He made Staropoli look like a welterweight, I thought.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's going to be any different against Jamie Pickett.
Okay.
So I suppose I'm picking.
There you go. Pickett.
Picking Pickett. Okay. What's the next one? We are at Chris Gutierrez and Felipe Colares.
Yeah, were you watching this when I came in this morning?
I was. Yes, I was. I was watching Colares.
He's going to come in Colares. I couldn't get that out then. Colares. Colares. Hold on, maybe I've written that in.
I'm reading it off Tapology, and you're reading it off your notes.
Yeah,
that your high school,
yeah.
Your son did your notes for you, so
never.
Yeah, I think he pays his kids to do his notes sometimes. They're written differently sometimes.
Well, at least they're doing, something other than the Xbox.
Sometimes he has his toenails painted pink as well, so I definitely think he's getting help from somewhere.
Who, me? Not very often.
No, it's Tom Owen won it. Colares.
Yeah, you're right. All right.
Of course I'm fucking right.
Right.
I mean,
it was your job for a while.
It was my job for a while, wasn't it? Okay, which way are you going with this one?
Which way are you going?
I'm going Gutierrez.
I'm also going Gutierrez.
Okay. I think it'd
be fiery.
Yeah, I do. It's a very evenly matched fight, I think. I just feel like Gutierrez has got he travels through range with strikes much better. Like
Right.
there are a lot of nice little tricks he does where he covers distance very quickly and forces people up against the fence. And if you think how Colares did against Luke Sanders, it was very much he was pushed around a little bit, and I don't know as he's going to be able to avoid that with Gutierrez. I think
Andre Hughes, that's a good win.
It's a good win. Well, as we were saying, earlier, like Andre Ewell is one of those guys that if you have him in your gym, you're like, this guy should beat everybody. Like you can see he's got but he's like Phil Davis. I just don't think he's got that bite in him. You know, that's the bit that he's lacking, that nastiness.
Yeah.
And I think Gutierrez has got that. Like he tries to hurt people, but he doesn't neglect his technique at the same time. You know.
Yeah.
He's not reckless with it.
16-3.
I think this one might be the sleeper on the card. I think this one might be.
I reckon it's going to be fiery.
This one might be a fight of the night for sure. I think this next one's going to be really odd.
I've written this is going to be really weird.
It's going to be really odd fight.
Really weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
They could both wrestle. I'd say, like Witt's obviously would have the wrestling advantage. You think slightly higher credentials?
I don't know. Well, do you want to make your pick for this one? Which one are you going? Gutierrez?
Gutierrez, yeah.
Okay, we'll quick roll past that one because I think it's going to be fight of the night, but I just, I think Gutierrez has got a bit of a deeper skill set, especially with the striking.
This is weird, isn't it? Phil Hawes and Darren Witt.
It is really... Have you got another name wrong here?
Oh, wow, what's his name?
Winn.
Yeah, I have, yeah.
I'm telling you, Jamie, someone did his notes. Okay. Phil Hawes he had so much hype around him coming into the Contender Series because he travels around. He's trained with John Jones and they say good things about him. And then he's traveled somewhere else and they say good things about him. And like every time he steps in there, you can see where that limitation is in his game, and it's because of his gas tank.
Yeah,
like he gets his hands on someone, and then all of a sudden it's like, I start to like. If you remember when he was in his last loss, which was a good while ago now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's on a 7-fight win streak now. But that fight against Julian Marquez was very telling of where the limitation is in his game, because he looked good until he gassed, and then he had nothing at all. No. It was like someone had literally just emptied his gas tank.
You go over that cliff, the certain body types, you go over the cliff, you cannot get back over that cliff. It's done.
The other time I remember someone looking like that is when Mark Coleman got kicked in the face by Pete Williams with his wrestling shoes on. Do you remember that? And it's just like... He's just so exhausted. The idea of trying to contract his biceps to pull his arms up is just
inconceivable.
Can't do it. But then you see him make his actual UFC debut against Jacob Malkoun, and he about punched him through the fence.
Yeah,
like
serious
that was
power.
18 seconds, just blasted him.
But he took Carl Dowcus into deep water, didn't
he?
He
looked fucking tired.
Yeah.
He did look tired. I mean, and something else. You might be able to answer this question for me because I see it quite a lot. Like patchy areas on their scalp where their hair's not coming through. I remember
stress-induced alopecia.
Yeah, I remember
that's what it is.
Yeah, I've seen a few fighters with it. What's his name had it the other week? A few months ago on his Instagram was Gary Tonin had it.
Oh, really?
And there was another fighter, him that used to be with Misha Tate, Caraway. I'm sure he had it for a bit. Yeah. I just see it sometimes, and like I think it was made more obvious because he bleached his hair,
right?
So you could kind of like see where the patches were. It looked like somebody had attacked him with the Jackass guys that attacked him with the clippers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know
just stood out
massive amount
to me,
about it, but I know it could be stress induced, and you lose parts of your. That's why. See, I'm under so much stress all the time. It's just long-term stress-induced.
Your hair should have grown back then when you went out to Australia. Are you away from Jimmy Warled for a couple of years?
Yeah.
It was just something that stood out to me. I mean, his last 2 fights have been decision wins, but I
don't think he can get physiologically much fitter. He has to have a better management of his output. I'm not sure you're gonna. It's not like he's not training. You know what I mean? He's not in shape. He's in shape. Can only assume that he's training really hard during his camps. But some people's physiology is some people's physiology. The only way he can get over that is being much, much smarter with how he applies his work, technically and obviously tactically. It's just you get the power and you don't get the gas tank. You know, you can have the gas tank, you can have the Diaz gas tank, but you don't necessarily have the, you know, the Phil horsepower.
But then, normally in the fight, he's the shorter, more heavily muscled guy that has the more finite gas tank. Now he's fighting someone who's the shorter guy that's maybe not more muscled, but is probably equally as muscle bound.
Yeah.
And
he's a funny shape.
He is, isn't he? 5'6" for a middleweight.
Very funny shape, but man, he can wrestle, can't he?
Yeah.
God damn it, he can wrestle. Yeah. I just wonder how that works, how it comes together. Like he's like everyone that DERN's fought he's you know wrestle fucked him pretty much. Like he's difficult to deal with, but is he going to be able to do that to Phil Hawes?
Yeah, I mean he outworked Arroyo, didn't he? And having a decision win over Spicely and Tom Lawler is nothing to turn your nose up at because they're both high paced fighters.
And he's he ground them out.
Yeah, like I mean he's Gilroy High School, isn't he? He's American Kickboxing Academy. He's like DC's project.
Yeah, like, DC got him in the game, right?
Yeah, like if anybody's going to teach you how to fight bigger guys as a short man, DC's the guy, isn't it? I think he's gonna outwork Phil Hawes. I think he's gonna outwork and he's gonna outgrind Phil Hawes. And he's gonna make him tired and stop him.
Like that's your game plan,
right?
Like, I'm gonna take you off the edge of that cliff, like for sure.
Stay away from him for 2 minutes, then grab a hold of him at the quickest opportunity, and even if you're not winning takedowns, just work him.
Yeah,
just work him.
I mean, you could even to the point of sort of letting him get back to his feet and putting him back on the floor and putting him back on the floor.
That grind cycle up against the fence that DC uses, it works. But he did it perfectly to Derek Lewis. Yeah, like to the point where you're even going, you can see where he's letting him up a little bit here, and then he's
back down.
Yeah.
Demoralizing.
It's demoralizing and zaps your energy, doesn't it? Zaps it.
Yeah, that's my feel for this fight.
I'm picking DERN Winn for the upset. I might even have a little bet on this one. I don't normally bet, but I think this one could be
an actual bet. Really? Well, when I found out I was 10-1 the last card, I messaged him back saying I feel like I've lost out on a load of money. Just start betting on it.
Yeah. Which way are you going? Are you taking Phil Hawes?
No, DERN Winn.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He's got to be the underdog, hasn't he? He's got to be the underdog because Phil Hawes is on such a win streak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Okay. This next one's going to be an absolute mess of striking as well. I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah.
Like, I know that Adapova didn't look very good in her debut against Dobson, but she looked good in the first round, and then she fell off a cliff really, really quickly.
That's got to be adrenaline and what have you, right?
It may be that she's in the wrong weight class.
Right.
I mean, she might not be a flyweight because she did look big compared to Shayna Dobson, and Dobson's a big flyweight. Yeah. You know,
I just see this going equally either way. So Adapova comes out and swarms Mazo, and she just can't deal with the swarm, and then she loses that way. Or Adapova comes out and swarms her, and Mazo, because she's straight down the pipe a lot of the time, just keeps catching, moving off. She comes back at her and she catches her again. I don't know whether she's refined enough to do that or not.
I think if Mazo can get herself through the first round, she's going to win this fight. And I think she's probably going to be able to sub her as well.
Okay.
Because I just think the point where Adapova fell off that cliff against Dobson, and Dobson just basically walked her down in 90 seconds and stopped her.
Yeah.
If she does that against Mazo we know can work the full distance. And she was landing great strikes against Alexis Davis. She's got a really, really nice straight right and straight high kick that she coupled up nicely.
But Alexis went to what she's good at, didn't she? And just heavy top game and controlled her and stuff. And she did a good job. And Mazo didn't really have an answer for it, did she?
No. But then against Justin Kish, she was able to take her back in the third round once she'd put enough work in on the feet. And I think Agapova's going to come out and work really hard to get that first round finish.
Yeah.
And if she doesn't get it,
she's done.
She's going to be done.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think this is the right weight class for her. I mean, you look at Mazo, so she's an inch taller, but she's 24. And then Agapova, she's an inch shorter, but she's 24 as well. I thought she was older. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't feel like Agapova looked like she was in the right weight class against Dobson.
I think you could swarm her though. I don't know if Mazo is that accurate enough and honed enough to be able to repeatedly just just catch her with those straight and then move off, and then catch her when she comes in and move off. If she swarms and puts her on her back, mind you, we know, you know, Alexa Davis is very good at that top game, and she you know,
she's a veteran.
And exactly.
I think Adapova can do that to her. I think Adapova can get close to her and take her down and control her on the floor. But I think if she doesn't get that finish in the first round, then she's going to struggle. Then she's going to start to struggle, because Mazo's got a nice consistent pace and she's got nice Muay Thai. You know, and you think as soon as Agapova starts slowing down, if she's not able to avoid those low kicks and head kicks, and she's a southpaw, so you've got to think Mazo's right leg is chambered ready for that power body and power head. She's very flexible. She likes that
head kick as well, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I quite like Sabina Mazo. I think she's good.
I thought Agapova was older than that. I thought she was in her
she'll be
late
really
20s,
pleased
30s.
To know that.
She ain't listening to
she
this.
Looks old.
No one listens to this anyway. You said we got fans last week. I called bullshit on it straight away.
I didn't get any shit for that. She's gone under the radar.
No, I gave you all the shit. They were like, he's
we'll
had
just
enough,
pretend that didn't happen.
Okay.
This is fight of the night.
Mate,
so who are you picking?
I think
Mazo.
Mazo. Yeah, I'll go with Mazo. I like this one.
This is fight of the night and chaos of the night.
It is chaos of the night.
In one.
I really like Tim Elliot. I like his style. I think he's a very, very difficult person to deal with, especially if you've not got sparring partners that can move like that. But then Nicolau, when he was fighting Manel Kape, who was a very, very good example of that kind of style. Like, Cap's very kind of chaotic and moves with odd rhythms and stuff, just like Tim Elliot does. He was pushed around. I know he won the split decision, but he wasn't comfortable at any point in the fight. He used good head movement to stay out the way of Cap, and he hammered his inside and outside leg.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, that's the obvious game plan here against Tim Elliot. But Elliot's a lot more measured and smarter in his approach. You've got to think. I mean, Elliot came into the UFC from the Ultimate Fighter, didn't he? And he got his shot at Demetrius Johnson.
I mean, he's so his rhythms and his patterns are so unorthodox. Yeah. But I know we've talked about this before, but I do feel like that's great to a point. But you're always going to struggle to be at the top with that level of sort of randomness, and I think it's reflected in his record in that anytime he peaks his head above that mid tier in that division, he gets sniped by guys that are so look, the rhythms and techniques are there for a reason, because they work, right? And that's why everyone sort of eventually, like, if we extrapolate where MMA goes, it's you're going to get much more commonality in techniques, because you'll go to the most efficient way of doing stuff. And then you have these Tim Elliots that are trying to almost be the anti point to that. But when they come up against those top level guys, they get picked apart a little bit.
They do. I agree, they do. But then that might be Tim Elliott's potential anyway. Tim Elliott might be, top 6. Like, that might be his limitation. Like at the time when I was in the rankings, I knew that there were a good, handful of guys that were above me that I just wasn't ready to be better than. Tim Elliott might be in that situation. I don't know as this is the fight that's going to show that, though.
You don't think Nicolau is sharp enough to just get rid of all the unorthodox stuff and just straight down the middle?
I don't know. I think he's got to be. See, Tim Elliott's output is higher than Manel Kap's, right? And the reason why Nicolau was able to stay out of danger against Manel Kape is because he was taking away that inside leg, which was making it difficult for Manel Kape to step onto it.
And Kape wasn't doing a massive amount, was he?
He was doing 1, 2, or 3 shots at the most, and Nicolau was out of there, and then he was getting discouraged and stopping. We had this same conversation the other week about Rosa and Air Jordan when they were fighting, and I said the reason I'm picking Rosa is because I feel like he's been doing chaos for longer.
Yeah, right.
I feel like that applies to Tim Elliot here as well.
Yeah,
especially if we're comparing Tim Elliot to Manel Kape. I know the expectation coming into the UFC of Manel Kape was really high.
Tim's fought some people, man.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like, you look at his record and you're like, okay, well, he lost by arm triangle to Brandon Royval, but he took Askarov to a decision.
Yeah.
He's got, subbing Mark De La Rosa is a good win. Ryan Benoit is always underrated in my opinion. So Espinoza is very, very difficult to get his hands on. Likes to skirt around the edge of the fence, and I don't know.
Like even his record is like, it's just like who he is. He's like goes on these great runs, and then he has a fucking terrible 3 fights in a row. But the times he's come unstuck, like DJ, Figueiredo, Askarov, Royval, like you know what I mean?
Top flight.
The top flight, isn't he? John Dodson back in 2012.
Like that might just be his potential, you know?
Benavidez back in 2014. Like the people he loses to are legit, aren't they?
Yeah, yeah.
But that was what led me to be thinking, like, in the mid-tier, that chaos causes too much trouble. You get to the top tier, it's not so much trouble for those top-tier guys because they can control it a little bit.
So then I suppose the question is, do you feel like...
Nicolau is mid-tier or top
Nicolau's...
tier? He's not top tier compared to the guys that we refer to as top tier on Tim's record.
But not because we've not seen him achieve that level yet, or not because you just don't think he is?
Yeah, I don't know. It's too soon. It's too soon to say with him, really, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he's 16-2. His only loss in the UFC was that head kick against Dustin Ortiz, and he's got John Moraga and Louis Smolka are good wins in my eyes.
I think he's quite good. I do think he's quite good.
He just never looked comfortable against Manel Cap.
Yeah,
he never looked like he was controlling the space. He looked like he was doing better work in the space that he was given to work with, and I like. But
we rate Cap too. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like having said that, he's probably not done what everyone probably thought he was going to do, has he?
Well, I mean, coming out of Ryzen, he was matched up against Pantoja in his debut.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he although he's beaten O'Day Osborne in his last fight, he did miss weight for that one by 4 pounds. So maybe that's part of his problem. Manel Cap is that this weight class might be a bit too much, because he was fighting in bantamweight in Ryzen, and then when he came over to the UFC, he dropped to flyweight. He returned to flyweight.
Yeah,
and maybe this is just not the right weight class for him, and he has actually got more potential at bantamweight. But I don't think that Nicolau looked comfortable in that fight. He did good work, but I don't know as he can be that effective against Tim Elliott with the experience that Elliott's got. There's a reason that they've matched Nicolau up with Elliott, is to see where he stands, see what he can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which way are you going? Do you think he's gonna get past it?
I wonder whether he's ready to tame the chaos or not.
I'm taking Tim Elliott by decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he'll be able to outpoint him a bit more. And
I'm going to roll the dice on Nicolau.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. See where we're at.
Well, we both rolled the dice on DERN Winn. He's got to be an underdog.
Yeah.
Got to be.
Gotta be.
No one's betting on a 5'6" middleweight.
No. He's also 5'6" wide, so yeah.
It's like investing in crypto.
There is not like investing in crypto. DERN Winn is not the future of everything.
Oh jeez. Fully on board.
Fully in. Randy Brown and Jared Gooden. Battle of the Reaches. 78 and 77, right?
Yeah, no, Randy Brown's not got... I thought he had a longer reach than that. Let me have a quick look. Yeah, no, you're right. No, he's taller though, isn't he? 6'3". 3-inch height advantage, 1-inch reach advantage. I think Randy Brown is very, very good. I think he's had some very tough fights in the UFC, and they're fights where, because he's he had 17 fights now. That Vicente Luque fight was a real learning experience for him. The Nico Price one, you've got to think aside from Jacare, who's going to empathise with that kind of stoppage? It was an odd one, To lose to Bilal Muhammad by decision there's no shame in that. I was very, very impressed with him in the Barberena fight. I thought he was all over Wally Alves, and to stop Oliveira with a one-arm rear naked choke, and to climb up his back the way he did. Mad. That's where the reach advantage comes into play.
He's not beating everyone. He's not beating everyone, but he's accumulated some serious experience in the UFC, hasn't he? Yeah. And he's fought some good names like you've just sort of been through.
Yeah. I'm not likening him to Neil Magny just purely based on the height and their style, but the way that he's accumulating experience, I feel like at some point, see, if you remember for Neil Magny, there was a point where all of a sudden it tipped over, and then he had this streak where it's like, all of those, all of that experience that he gathered in those hard fights has now paid off.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what's going to happen with Randy Brown. And I kind of feel like the Vicente Luque fight was it. Like, I feel like he might have turned that corner. Alex Oliveira was the first victim of that new stage of his career. And now Jared Gordon's going to be the next.
Hold on. Jared Gooden,
sorry.
Oh, that's right. I just immediately thought I'd got it wrong, and it was you that got it wrong.
But the reason that his name's in my head is because DC forgot it the other week, didn't he? That's funny. I empathise when I've done this.
I basically agree. I thought Gooden, he's very durable, he's very powerful.
He's got that fucking really awkward movement.
Yeah.
He
showed some good Abu Bakr.
Yeah.
Fight. He showed some good takedown defense in that. That's difficult. I just don't think he's as sharp as Brown.
No.
I just think he's a millisecond off. Do you know what I mean? He's going to get beaten to the punch.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the same level of experience, but he's game and he mixes it up pretty good. It just comes down to I just don't think he's quite as sharp as Randy.
No, I agree. And he's, I mean, the stoppage of Stoles was, a beautiful punch. But even when he was throwing it, like, as you're watching it, like, if you watch the replay, it's like his eyes are kind of closed and he's like punching off at a weird angle.
It was a funny punch, wasn't it? It's almost like he lat raised and then went, and just landed it. It's just,
Yeah, it was.
I mean, anything he throws has got power behind it. He's a big, thick dude, isn't he?
But he is very kind of stiff, and he's got an awkward Keith Jardine rhythm to him.
Is he?
He's a little bit kind of herky jerky and
ridiculously good looking.
I love it. He gave Alan Jaban a good fight, and he gave Abu Bakr Nurmagomedov a good fight. I say it like mystery now.
Yeah,
Abu Bakr. Abu Bakr.
Mystery.
Abu Bakr Nurmagomedov. He gave them both a good fight. I feel like Randy Brown's turned the corner though. I'm big on the rude boy at the moment.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm big on the rude boy. And he went all the way through his post-fight interview after Oliveira not swearing.
Oh, nice.
And then right at the end, he went fucking. He just dropped it in there, and it was like, oh.
Imagine when Josh gets to this level.
I'll fucking lift him. Or Tom, and have to subtitle his post-fight interview. Get a translator for DC.
Yeah. I'm sorry, what?
Love it.
Love it.
Okay.
So both going
Randy Brown then,
both going Brown.
I am looking forward to it, but I think it's a coming out party for Randy Brown.
Wicked.
I can see him choking Gooden.
Yeah?
Yeah. Long arms, rear naked or Darce or Anaconda or something like that.
I like it.
Okay.
DERN Rodriguez.
This is a fucking really good fight. I'm looking forward to it.
I got Rodriguez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think DERN's going to take it down to Subba.
Well, obviously there's two ways it's going to go in it. Surely Rodriguez has got the advantage on the feet.
I can't give away all my War Room notes, but there was a stat that I thought was interesting. So obviously she's just gone 5 rounds with Waterson. So she's been against Esparza, she was taken down 5 times out of 9. Against Calvillo, she was taken down 3 times out of 4, and against Marcus 2 times out of 5. But what's consistent is that when she's taken down, she spends chunks of time stuck on the floor.
Oh, shit.
So against Marcus, she was on the floor for over a round, as well as Calvillo. And against Carla Esparza, she spent 9 minutes on the floor.
You do not want to spend 9 minutes with
Every
Mackenzie
single
Dern
one of
on the
those
floor,
people
do
that
you?
have taken her down would get annihilated on the ground by Mackenzie Dern.
Oh, shit. This is not looking... This is not...
I don't think so.
You're turning my head.
Like, the thing that is very impressive about Marina Rodriguez is how she controls close range. When she's clinched, she's got great elbows and knees. You can really see that Muay Thai style. My concern is that she'll be choosing to throw knees instead of defending takedowns, and that's the point where she's going to get taken down. I think if she can stuff the first 2 or 3 takedowns, Dern gets into this habit of being a little bit reckless and crazy. Like in her last fight, when she got cut across the bridge of her nose. Who was that against? Nunes. She got a cut. Was it Nunes? No, Jiroba. She got a cut across the bridge of her nose, and she pulled guard against the fence.
Yeah.
Like when something's not going Dern's way, she does get a little bit kind of everything starts
Safe
to fall
zone.
apart, and she starts like throwing these real wild, scrappy punches. That's where Rodriguez finds her way in. I just don't think she gets there.
Sort of, as you know, at the gym we've been doing a load of striking work on pulling and pulling people into stuff, and I think Rodriguez does it really well. And if she catches DERN like gets pissed off and like chases her, she's going to pull her in and she's going to crack her. And I think she can drop. I think she can, drop. She's got some good. She got long arms, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's
got some good striking.
Well, that's what she did against Hughes, wasn't it?
Yeah.
He was crashing forward, and and then Hughes had a really great performance against Mackenzie Dern as well. So, I mean, I know obviously MMA math doesn't work, but Marina Rodriguez stopping Hughes shows that she's got that. No, she didn't stop her. She dropped her, didn't she?
Yeah.
No,
she didn't stop her. Yeah, she dropped her bad.
It should have been stopped.
Yeah,
and then
she dropped her real bad.
Continue, and then she'd taken a couple of extra elbows, didn't she?
Yeah,
I remember now.
Yeah. Stop the fight.
But Dern's last fight against Nunes, though.
You just
and Nunes is decent on the ground. She's a good grappler. She's got good people around her to train. They knew exactly what they were up against with Dern, and Dern was still able to do it.
Yeah,
she still took her down, passed her guard, armbarred her.
Yeah, you've rattled me a bit. Because I can definitely see Rodriguez sticking it on Dern a little bit. She's getting pissed off. She's coming at her. She pulls her on, cracks her, puts her on the floor, beats her up, stays half guard or even side control or whatever. But then you just don't want to be down there, do you? Not for extended periods of time.
No,
just time to work.
Okay, so common opponent Randa Marcus. So Randa Marcus took Rodriguez down twice out of 5 times and controlled her for nearly 6 minutes on the ground. Marcus was taken down and subbed by Mackenzie Dern in 3:44. She'd also knee-barred Hannah Cyphers in just over half a round, and then her last fight was 4:48. And like I said, every time Rodriguez is taken down, she spends at least 5 minutes on the floor.
That's not a good start.
I just don't think she gets out the first round. I think she has to land a knee and she has to time it perfectly to catch Dern on the way in. Because I don't think her early takedown offense is gonna stand up to it.
No,
I think Dern will, because she knows once it's there, she can give 100% effort in those takedown attempts because she needs 20% effort once it hits the floor. Yeah. It's not even like it's going to be a fight once it hits the floor for her, really. Like that's how Dern's seeing it. That's how I would see it if I was Dern. Like Rodriguez is a really good striker, but she's got a rather one-sided game, which doesn't suit this fight.
No. Right.
So you're going Rodriguez, are you? Yeah.
Yeah, after all of that, I'll just stay with what I thought. I don't know. My original pick was Rodriguez. You have turned it a little bit, but I'll stick with what I originally thought. But obviously, I can see what you're saying, and I can see how that could definitely play out. And Rodriguez in a lot of trouble if this hits the floor, isn't she?
Yeah. In your defence, if I am siding with you for a moment, Mackenzie Dern has 10% takedown accuracy compared to 62% takedown defence for Rodriguez. So there is a saving grace of stats there, but if it hits the floor, it's the decision making. How often do we see someone in a position where their priority should be to stop the takedown and they go to strike?
Yeah,
they throw a knee to the body, they throw an elbow and it goes over their head and the person's got body lock. It happens too often, especially with Muay Thai strikers. We've got the same fucking mentality. Like we go, I can hit them. They're in range to hit. Just throw something at them, and then I
can hit them. Therefore, I must.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the chaos that Josh was talking about a bit more in MMA. Because in boxing, you're at the range where you're going to be hit, or you're just outside of that range. As soon as you go past that, you're in close range or you're tied up. Like there's so much more going on in MMA. Like you get that range closed down, it doesn't stop there. Like you close down and then you're on the floor on your back. Yeah,
I can't remember the word he was using, but basically it's not. It just doesn't feel as clean as boxing to him, and that's basically what you're saying. And is there's blurred edges between ranges, and there's more ranges you have to be worried about. And yeah. All right, I got Rodriguez.
Okay, I think Dern's
I'm assuming you're taking Dern.
Yeah.
Nice. All right.
Great fight.
Good fight. Couple of good ones.
Yeah,
couple
I think
of good ones
so.
in there.
I think so.
Yeah,
I think so. I think Nicolau against Tim Elliot could potentially be a fight of the night. And the other one, I think, fight of the night is Rosa against Jackson. Gutierrez against Colares.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Charles Rosa's always fight of the night potential. Good card. Some sleepers on there for sure.
If if you guys want to check out what happened at Golden Ticket with our boys on the fight card, we have a Patreon channel, Patreon/Full Reptile.
Fucking hell, get excited. Hey, what? You're the
And
most excited about this. If you want to join the
fucking hell,
Patreon
all right.
channel.
I was just making sure I got the words out right. You know what I mean? I get all excited. I say like shit that doesn't make sense. We know this. This is we've been through this.
Are you reading off notes for this?
No, I'm not. I'm just making sure that it's the right information.
What's your safety net, this
Do you know
is,
what I
you
mean? It is
see?
my
We should
safety
start
net.
doing
It's
these
like
with
the guy who fought Jack. He just wants to just jam him up against the wall and not fight.
I think what we should do next time is we should print the fight card off and then have no laptops or notes.
Nah, fuck. What am I going to say? If I haven't got any notes, what am I going to say? You've got a monologue show. We've said this before. Fucking jump on the Patreon channel, guys, because there's all of our fights on this. So Mystery's done a behind the scenes show from Golden Ticket, inside the changing rooms, Jimmy coaching, Joe coaching, the boys going out and fighting, feedback from how they felt the fights went, and all the highs and lows, the emotion of the night. It's wicked. Patreon/Full Reptile, and also go support our sponsors, unboundmerino.com. We are long-term friends of theirs, and they've been supporting us for probably almost a year now. I think.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, pretty close.
And they don't use shitty farms for their wool.
Mulesing. No mulesing.
We don't want mules singing.
Google mulesing, have a look. It's not very nice.
Don't Google it and have a look. Just know that it's fucking awful.
Yeah.
And that they don't use it.
They don't do it.
Wonderful.
I'm not having it. Woolmark certified wool producers only. There you go.
Nice.
Nice one.
Yeah, wicked.
See you next week.
Cool. Catch you next time.
Easy. Cheers, bro.